Well, welcome to the Valder Beebe Show, Jean and Terry. I really appreciate you both being here. How are you both today?
Doing great.
Yeah, doing well, thank you.
Well, Jean, I'm going to start with you because you're Miss Money. We know you know everything about money. We watch you. We're ardent followers of you because you talk common sense that we can understand. And so let's talk about the Corebridge research. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for the very nice words. The Corebridge research really opened our eyes to something important that we're learning about retirement, which is that we save and save and save and save for a huge number of years, for decades. And the reason that we're saving is to give ourselves money that we'll be able to spend on the other side. But when we get there, for both tactical and emotional reasons, spending is really difficult, and many people are just not doing it, at least in the way that they could. And so this research pointed us to a number of solutions that we think people can put to use in their own lives to make this spending process a little bit easier.
Jump to you about Corebridge research because Jean said, we're not spending. I needed to tell you guys, if they didn't tell you, my audience is made up of people born between 1946 and 1964, and we call them baby boomers, and maybe she's talking about that particular group. And they're not spending because they say they're not dumb. They see what's happening in the economy. So tell me how Corebridge intersects with this.
Yeah, at its core, it's fear, and you're exactly right. People have anxiety about spending their money when they get to retirement, and there's a number of factors. One, people are living longer. We don't know how long we're going to live. So how long do I need my money to last when I'm a retire? If I retire at 65, do I need it to last 20 years? Do I need it to last 30 years? Possibly 40 years? And what are healthcare costs going to be? Don't know. And what is inflation going to look like? So there's a lot of uncertainty going into retirement that creates anxiety and fear. And what we find is that when people have a plan and they map out what is their spending strategy going to look like in retirement, it gives them more confidence to spend that money that they've worked so hard for. People work 20, 30, 40 years in the workplace, and they've developed a habit of saving money, and they really psychologically have to shift to being able to adjust to spending the money that they've worked so hard for during their careers.
I need to know that Terry Fiedler, she's the president of Retirement Services at Corebridge Financial. Jean, I'd like to know, this anxiety, I think Terry spoke to that a little bit, that's driving our spending and our lifestyle choices in these post years. The survey talked about that, and did it give you any answers?
Well, it gave us a whole lot of data points. We know that 40% of people said that they are spending less than they want to in retirement, which is, I think, kind of a sad state of affairs. I saw it with my mother. She was willing to spend her pension that was left over from my father. She was willing to spend what came in from Social Security. She was willing to spend her interest income, but she wasn't willing to dig into her principal, despite the fact that she had 3 grown children saying to her, I do not need your money. So it's a matter of, as Terry said, figuring out what your decumulation plan is going to look like. Should you be taking some of those assets, some of that balance, and converting it into an income stream that you know for sure is going to last the rest of your life because you've offloaded some of your risk to an insurance company? That, research is showing us, is making it a lot easier and more comfortable for many people to continue to spend.
Remember, you guys know I talk about Jean Chatzky because I quote her quite a bit. She is a finance expert and a best-selling author. I'm going to ask Terry. Terry, tell me about a decumulation plan that the retirement experience should guide us with.
Yeah, so in terms of thinking about your decumulation plan, the first thing to start is, what do you want your retirement to look like? Maybe where do you want to live? Do you want hobbies in retirement? Do you want to travel? What is your vision of retirement? And then second is putting a plan in place, a spending plan to facilitate that retirement that you dream about. And the third piece is working with a financial professional, because by the time you get to retirement, you should have Social Security, you may have a pension, you may have a workplace plan, a 401k, a 403b, 457, and you may have other investments such as IRAs. And so a financial planner can help you with looking at all of your assets and coming up with a strategy to spend that money and how much you can afford on a monthly basis, an annual basis, et cetera. And also, if you want to leave money to a charity or your children or whatever, they can help you with all of that financial planning.
Nice. Jean, I'm going to finish up with you, and I'll go back to Terry for one more question. But what steps can people take right now to give themselves confidence and the flexibility of spending in retirement? Because retirement is no fun if you're not having fun.
You are so right about that. And I just want to go back to what Terry said, which is that the existence of a plan, knowing your numbers, knowing what is possible, but not just possible, sustainable for the rest of your life, is really what makes retirement more enjoyable. Otherwise, you're going to sleep every night and you're worried about whether your money will be there next year, next decade, the decade after that. So if you haven't taken the time to sit down with a financial planner, it's time to do it. Even if you're already in retirement, as you said, a lot of your listeners already are.
All right. Thank you so very much. And Terry, I'm going to wrap up with you. My audience, obviously, hopefully they feel like they've had a one-on-one session with you two experts. But if they need more information, and I'm sure they do, what are other resources that they can start being proactive about?
Yeah, terrific resources. Go into corebridgefinancial.com/decumulation.
Terry, Jean, this has been so fun, so eye-opening. And, you make us want to be better people. So thanks for stopping by the Valder Beebe Show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Valder.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of the Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.